This is 75343 Dark Trooper helmet. This is 75305 Scout Trooper helmet. And this is 75351 the Leia Boushh helmet. And I'm Scott. Those are the bricks, and this is the review. And here we finally have it, the helmet episode. Now, Star Wars Helmet Collection is a very popular lineup for especially the older fans and teenagers alike because they get to collect their favorite Star Wars helmets but in Lego form. But for me, they just don't hit as well as they should because I just don't like statues that much. And if I want helmets, I would just get these, or these, or those, or even this one, which I find are more useful because you can actually wear them and use the voice changing mechanics, and they have all the bells and whistles you want from a Star Wars helmet. And it's just better. You can use those for cosplay. You can't really wear these. These don't really do anything. They just kind of collect dust, but they're nice to look at, and that's pretty much all they got. Now, if they add some stud shooters or some flick fires, or if they even some spring loaders, you know, maybe some actual playability to them, then I would enjoy it, but that's stupid because they're helmets. They're not supposed to be playable. I just don't like them that much for that reason. But they do have some charm, and I decided to get the three that I actually care about, which is the Scout Trooper, because I love Episode 6. We have the Dark Trooper, because that's a wonderful EU addition when they added to Season 2 Mandalorian. I was blown out of the waters, and I finally added some Dark Troopers to that, and that's a very Dark Forces. That's where they came from. The video game is a really good game if you haven't played it, and that's just a really nice EU collection to me. And then we have Leia and her Boushh helmet, or Boushh, I think is pretty much how you say it. I'm not sure, I'll correct it later. But which is probably the only Princess Leia helmet you're ever going to get unless they actually do like the buns, which they probably won't. So to have her release this year, which is fantastic. And another, again, I'm a huge fan of Episode 6. Return of the Jedi is my favorite film. So this one right here is just a nice, wonderful addition to that collection. All right, let's get into these. All right, first things first, we have the Scout Trooper released in 2021. 471 pieces, retailed at $50, which makes it one of the cheapest ones you can buy. Actually, for retail now, they're I saw these not being sold off the shelves. Actually, I saw a lot of these in clearance. This was a gift to me, actually. I didn't buy this one because, again, I didn't care for the helmets, but I love Scout Troopers. And the Black Series did not release a Scout Trooper helmet yet, and I think they are supposed to soon. It was shown at Celebration for 2023, but till then, this is my Scout Trooper helmet, and I do have to say, as a gift, it was fantastic. $50 for this one. I saw in clearance a lot for about 40 to 30 is the lowest, and now you can probably get it for about 70 brand new, probably 50 used. So it's growing there, but yeah, this is it. 471 pieces, not bad for the price actually. And yeah, I think it's a very fantastic design for the Scout Trooper helmet. Probably my favorite one they did. You do have a lot of stickers here, which kind of does bum me out, and if you don't do it well, you're not going to have a good job, and it's going to look kind of shitty. They do a lot of nice work here just to kind of get the full shape of the actual Scout Trooper helmet, and I think it's almost proportionate side to side. Not else really thing going here, but I just really enjoy it. You do have your printed nameplate here, and the base is kind of basic, but no, this is actually just a nice, fantastic. I think this looks way better than the actual Stormtrooper helmet they designed, and that being said, this is just fantastic. And if you didn't like this Scout Trooper helmet, that's a shame, because you really are missing out on a very wonderfully done Lego helmet. I just think it's the best. And as my first, you know, kind of foray into this lineup, the building actually wasn't that bad. It's very sturdy the way they did it. I love the way they contour the shapes. A lot of building. There's a lot of layering going on just to make sure you get the full helmet shape. It's not really bad. It doesn't look ugly as that BB-8 Collector's Edition version is. It just looks kind of fantastic. A lot of white here because it is a Stormtrooper helmet. And you have the nice dark bluish grays with the light bluish grays. And that visor is just fantastic. Look at that. The way it just blends in perfectly. This is probably my favorite one out of all the three. So I'll just let that go out of the way. And it sits proudly on my Imperial section. That's enough fangirling about this one. Let's go to the Dark Trooper one. It's a damn shame this one fucking sucks. This is the Dark Trooper one, and this is the first one I actually bought with my own money, and what a mistake I think it was. I really do like Dark Troopers a lot, ever since I played, actually not Dark Forces, but Star Wars Battlefront 2, because you had Dark Troopers, but they weren't. They were just the jetpack ones, but they were in dark armor, and I always called them Dark Troopers until I learned that they actually had robotic ones. Oh god, and that's we're going to get into that in a second. But yes, as you can see through those lovely translucent red eyes, this is a droid, and he is 693 pieces and retail for $70. I believe he was just discontinued this year for 2023. Only ran for 1 year. Not popular. Again, I have bad taste in Star Wars because I usually buy the most unpopular sets because I like them. more than anything. But yes, he is not a popular one, I guess, because Dark Troopers aren't really that popular for a lot of Lego fans. I'm assuming I saw him a lot in clearance. I saw a lot of damage boxes, and I see him a lot still on the shelves today, especially in Target. I see him all over the place. I hardly see any other one except for Dark Troopers. They're just kind of like a nuisance. But there's good reason for building wise. So if you did build this, the build itself is kind of clunky. I don't really care for it because it's just a lot of this paneling work is just not well done. This is very movable. It has a lot of loose pieces that I'm afraid to touch it most of the time. And this one actually has the most playability out of all of them because his head, see what I mean? You can't really do anything with it. And that's why I don't like about that, because it's not really locked in there and you can't really do much with it. But he does have some playability here. His head goes up and down, which is, I don't know if that's correct or not, but he's been doing that. So he's been kind of shady to me. And I really want to say I do enjoy this neck servo, though. That is fantastic because these are droids. So technically, this isn't a helmet. This is the actual Dark Trooper himself. And I just love that chrome piece right there. It really does offset. And the black, and oh, look, he broke because he's a piece of shit. You have that neck brace thing here, whatever, that goes to the actual stand itself. And yeah, you can see inside there a little bit of the colors. Obviously, if you know these by now, that the helmets actually do have a lot of different colors inside of it. The break out the repetition of the colors that happen on the inside, which is fantastic. I do love that a lot. On this one, you do have a lot of browns inside of it. And all these pieces kind of connect into the main sturdy part of the head, obviously. But no, you just have some spots on there. It's not the best one. It has a lot of detail. I'll give it that. You do have sticker pieces, no printed, which kind of do blend in with the black, so they do kind of color match there. And you have your Dark Trooper plate right there. Yes, he is not the best, but he looks, if you leave him alone and you put him in his little corner, he looks fantastic. And if you like Dark Troopers, this is kind of for you, but I understand why he's not that popular. He's actually just kind of a big turd, and that's okay with me because, you know, I'm stuck with him. I'm not going to be able to get rid of him. And I really do like those red translucent eyes. Okay, that's enough dugging on. Oh God, it's just so scary doing that, right? So you're a piece of shit, right? He agrees with me. Okay, let's go look at Leia now. And here we have it, everybody's favorite Princess Leia Boushh helmet, her disguise for when she went to the palace of Jabba to collect her favorite space boy from the Carbonite nightmare he was placed into from her father. And I would just say this thing is fantastic. Released this year in 2023. I got it ever on May the 4th weekend. Just haven't had a chance to build it, but I finally been able to. It is $70. It does have 670 pieces, and it does give you one fantastic recreation of the Boushh helmet. It does have two lovely colors here that make up the main design. You have the medium nougat, which looks fantastic, and then you have the brown, which really contrasts each other very well, and I think look just about screen accurate to the actual helmet. Plus you have your dark bluish grays and your wonderful translucent greens for the visor top. This helmet build was very repetitive and gets kind of annoying at times, especially for the greebling on the side, which at the end looks fantastic and I enjoy looking at it, but building it really was not fun. It's sturdy in the middle. It breaks up repetition of colors by having a nice colorful array of pieces that go inside, and then the visor pieces, this curvature here work is very fantastic, but I wish it was just a little bit better, a little bit smoother coming in, but that's okay. The mouthpiece itself is probably the last thing you will build, and honestly I don't think is as accurate, even though they tried their best here. I wish this protruded out just a little bit more like it does in the films. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think it's a little off. But other than that, it's a nice little recreation. You do have some stickers, especially right there in the front, and then you have one in the back of the head here, which is fantastic. Is that extra detail. The top is really nothing else to shout about. It reminds me more of an MTT if you think about it, with just the design overall. And then you have this doodad here, which is kind of cool, and it just repeats itself on the sides, which I really do like the gribbling. I just like the repetition and build. This thing is just fantastic, I think, besides a little nitpicking on it, because you get to finally recreate a very, famous helmet for Princess Leia. Unless you get the space buns, you're not going to get anything for the helmet collection, so this is just a nice, wonderful, fantastic addition. Is it my favorite one? No, I still have a heavy hard-on for that Scout Trooper helmet, and always will, because I'm biased. It's just one of my favorite designs for helmets, but this, for being an Episode 6 fan, and being one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, this is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful addition to the helmet collection, and I had to scoop it up as soon as I heard they got it, because I loved it. No offense to Commander Cody or to Captain Rex's helmets. I will hope to get a Commander Cody eventually, but I think this just tops the cake, and it's just a little bit better. Maybe that shows my age a little bit in my bias towards which Star Wars I enjoy, nothing against Clone Wars, and now I'm just rambling on about helmet choices. Please destroy me later in the comments. And that's all I gotta say about this one. It's a pretty good helmet. Go buy it. All right, conclusion. All right, and there we have it. Dark Trooper 75343, Scout Trooper 75305, and 75351 Leia Boushh helmet. Damn, I hope I'm saying that name right. Yeah, so they're solid. Obviously, I chose these three because they're my favorite ones. They do have better builds and better looking ones throughout the entire collection, but for me, these are my three favorite ones. So if you're more interested in the more least popular characters and a little more obscure helmets in the collection, these are the three that you really want to get because Dark Troopers are really dope. They're really EU famous, and if you just grew up with them, you're enjoying it. If you love Episode 6, you're going to get two wonderful Episode 6 helmets, which don't get enough love, I think, anywhere else. If you have a chance to pick them up, please do, especially if you're fans of these helmets, but if not, that's okay. There's other helmets for you to enjoy. Again, I don't really care for these. Can't really do anything, but late at night, sometimes I like to make them kiff like that, you know? But playability-wise, that's pretty much all they have, and it's really all they can do because they're statues, and that's what they are. So, you know, they're helmets. Now you know why I kind of avoided making this episode, but I finally had three to talk about, so let's talk about them. I'm Scott, those were the bricks, and that was the review. Thank you for watching as always. Like and subscribe for more, and thank you for supporting the channel. I'm almost at 200 subs, and that makes me very happy. And when that happens, you know, we might celebrate by popping open a set I haven't popped open yet. But until next time, and until next week, stay frosty, and thanks!